Fresh.
Every Friday night. No cooking necessary, no assembly required.
What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Welcome
Happy
to Behind
Friday.
Oh, yes. Happy Friday.
TGIF, for real.
Hope you all had a wonderful Juneteenth on yesterday. Hope you educated somebody about what Juneteenth means and how important it is. And it's not just a day off, but it is highly significant. Speaking of highly significant, what a week in Fairmont Crest. They gave us some good tea this week, didn't they?
They gave us a lot of tea.
A lot of tea. So with that, let's get started. Well,
it's a lot.
To say the least.
I'm on the phone.
It's a lot.
Let's just start here. Let's pick up from where we ended last week, y'all.
You got him hemmed
this
up.
Little man, which we learned that his name is Kenneth. At least that's what's on his name tag. That his name is Kenneth. And Martin said, "Who are you? What do you want? Why are you following me?" Okay, and so from this gentleman right here, we learn that he has a brother. We have learned that in his brother, we have
had he had
a brother. Excuse me. They're not on for me, Keisha. So I don't know if that must be a setting or something that's on yours. They're not on for me.
I was just making sure because it was coming up on mine.
Yeah, no. He had a brother, and Martin was out 2 years ago. He was out on a late dark night. He was changing his tire, and somehow this man and his brother interacted with Martin. We know that it looks as though there was some type of crash, or it could just be the flashing lights we saw. We know that they were paid off. And we know that Elon, the police chief, Marcel, the detective, Vernon, Bill, and Martin are all involved.
You said Ted, right?
Well, we're going to get to that. And now that we know that Ted is now involved. So what happened?
We were saying, you and I, it's like he was maybe changing the tire. Some happy people came up and basically started harassing them. You know, Martin has
Not happy people.
Fuse.
Not happy. Some patriots.
Got up and basically he got a short fuse. He got up there, basically maybe took a tire iron and ended somebody. That's one. Because if he was already changing the tire, I don't think he actually hit somebody with the car.
Right.
So, and then as you said, Vernon was saying they started it. So
my theory to elaborate is Martin's out on a late night on a dark road. He's already a congressman because he said you had your government congressman tags. He goes to change his tire. And I think these guys, Kenneth and his brother, approached him and they either attempted to rob him or they attempted to unalive him. Mm-hmm. And the reason I'm saying the second part is we noticed that Joey has something to do with this also. So I'm thinking that maybe it was a hit on Martin ordered maybe by Joey by these two guys. It goes wrong. It goes south.
But Martin, why would Joey put out a hit on Martin?
He's a congressman and maybe he's backing up a RICO case. Maybe he's putting in legislation. You never know.
Never know.
So maybe Martin is already shown us, like we said, he is about that life.
Yes, he is.
He went to with the tire arm or whatever to these two guys. So much so that one met his demise and the other one apparently needed plastic surgery, which is where Ted comes in. After he calls Vernon and say, hey, Vernon, granddad, this is what has happened on the road. Dad calls his good friend Elon, who's the police chief. Elon brings Marcel, who in turn probably knows if it's a hit, Joey, because then Joey got some stuff going on. He says, hey, we need to get this guy. He's still with us. We're going to change his face up. He's beat so bad he needs plastic surgery. Ted, your son has done this. He needs emergency surgery. We're going to take care of Martin. You take care of this guy. Joey, pay him off. And everybody's none the wiser. That seems like a lot, but it's a lot of people involved in this. It's Bill.
Yeah, be a way to time all in it.
Elon.
That is, yeah.
It's Martin. It's Ted. All of these men are wrapped up in this saga together.
What I'm trying to figure out is how the heck, like if what's his name? Oh God, brain freeze. Y'all help me, detective.
Marcel.
Elon. If Marcel got a $500,000 payoff?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How much did the guy get?
You know?
And why the question is, why was he paid off?
Right.
Why was he paid off? And who is this extra person that Vernon keeps talking to on the phone? Who is it that he entrusted to keep Kenneth out of the way? He said, we trusted you. I gave this as a task for you to watch him. And what do you mean you lost him and you took eyes off of him and now he's here making havoc on my family? You had one job to do. So who is this person that had this job?
See, I was thinking it was Marcel, but I'm not sure.
I don't think it's Marcel.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning I was, but now I'm thinking there's another person in here that we're bringing in. So,
but y'all, it has to do. All of this is intertwined in back to Martin, and the reason I said that is because this one right here, Smitty, with him talking to and investigating Marcel. And remember last week he said the name and Martin got nervous, so we already know Marcel was there. But he keeps saying, he told Elon, and him and Elon had this conversation and said, if Smith keeps digging, he's gonna find out that his digging leads him right back home.
Mm-hmm.
So this money that Marcel got from Joey, this $5,000 payout, all of this has something to do with Martin. Because of that statement of him saying it's going to lead him right back home. If he keeps digging, he's going to be at his front door. So the $500,000, the $5,000, his ties into Joey Armstrong, it's all going to play out as to what it all has to do with Martin. They're all one big happy family. The question is how?
How? It's a lot of players in this game.
It's
I'm like, if I got in an
players.
accident, the first thing, unless Vernon was in the car with him, but I doubt it. I don't know. But if you're driving along, you changing the tire, so it's you and Vernon. So you call your dad first? Because I'm like, did he call Vernon first or did he call his dad first? Because I'm like, I guess I would have called my dad, but he must have called Vernon.
He called Vernon because he didn't even know that his dad knows.
Either Vernon was
He's
already
now
there.
finding out that his dad knows.
Right.
He didn't even know his dad knows.
Yeah, he found out next week that his dad knew what was happening.
But so he called Vernon, or either Vernon was there and Vernon called Bill. Bill called Elon and the chief. It's just a whole big crazy mess. So,
well, we have to think about this now. This would be a time when Bill was on happier terms with the family at this stage. So Vernon probably called Bill first because that is his son-in-law and his fixer. Right. So Bill, in turn, must have called Elon or Marcel. Because at this point, Vernon is like not the person I think that's going to personally get his hands dirty, but he's going to have a player that doesn't mind getting dirty. And we know for the Dupree family, that person is Bill.
I mean, and Chelsea even said that. She was like, when she was talking to him about the case.
The lawsuit.
She was like, we go to Naomi for feel good and but we go to you for when we got to get a little dirty.
Exactly. But here's the thing. This guy right here, Martin. Smith.
I need him. Oh, Lord, bless him.
Martin.
Please.
I know you are an investigative journalist and you love your job and that's your thing. But I want to introduce you. I want to introduce you to another fellow journalist.
Yes, it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix, Smitty.
It's on Netflix.
Go watch it. Go watch it. The whole thing.
This is a journalist by the name of James Novak.
May he rest in peace.
James Novak had a Washington, D.C. husband who was a very powerful player, ended up being chief of staff. So you really don't get no higher other than president. And he found out all kinds of things that his husband didn't want him to get close to. And what did he do? Well, this is what happened to James.
Loving Beta Cyrus.
I don't want you, Smitty, to end up in James's shoes.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't.
We love James very much. James had a baby. You got 2 kids.
May he rest in peace.
And we had to live through James having, some issues. And we told James, just like we telling you, to stop it. We told him to go another way. James didn't listen because that investigative reporter in him could not rest. He had to get to the truth.
Yeah,
and when he did,
digging. Yeah, right, Marvella, 6 feet under.
James, I cried for you. Smitty, I don't want to cry for you. Okay,
That's
I
right.
shared real tears. I don't want to share tears for you, Smitty, because even Marcel said he wanted to take a tire iron to your skull. That ain't good. That's
Let it
not
go,
good.
Smitty. Let it go.
Smitty, back up, please. Back up.
Take it from
But
Mary and let it go.
and now these three, they in bed with the devil again.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
Crying
in
That
bed
out
was a
with the
very
loud.
devil.
odd scene for her walking in on. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Everybody go to Joey Casino. And Joey
But I'm
still
like, but she know what
put on.
Joey's about. So it's like, okay, the chief of police and another policeman in here with Joey. I'm like, you could play cards anywhere. Why are you at Joey's with him? I'm like, you're not just
Right.
at a table. You with Joey in the back
You
room with
with
the door
Joey in the
closed.
back room.
Right.
What would
Not
I
just
do?
playing at
I
the
would
slots.
ask. Marvella says, what would we do if we found out? And what would I do if I found out something about my husband? Well, I'm gonna ask him. That's what I'm gonna do with mine.
Yeah, I'm asking mine.
Why not
I'm gonna
ask
ask
him?
him. I'm gonna ask
Who
him.
this woman?
Why are you
Pablo.
down at Joey's, or why are you? It's something right here is not adding up, and I'm gonna need you to me to have a conversation. I'm gonna need you to trust me enough to
Mm-hmm.
have a conversation. That's how that's gonna go. And talking about trusting enough, and we'll get more into this later. But as a message for Ted, since we fast forward into next week and we know that you know, and we already know that Nicole is mad about everybody lying to her, you better tell it.
You sure better.
You better tell
Them
it.
lies is
Oh, he
getting you
needs to.
nowhere.
You better tell it. But here is, and Keisha, we discussed this earlier. What if he is evasive after multiple inquiries? He won't be. He won't be, because I got something he can't get from some of these men.
What?
Something that I'm sitting on. He can't get that from the men.
Yeah, I can.
So he ain't gonna be evasive, not with me. I got fresh baked chocolate chip cookies.
Fresh baked.
Fresh baked, hot out the oven. He can't get that from these guys at this poker table.
Girl.
So I'm not worried about it. But
Oh, Marvella.
Ted,
Oh.
he needed to go ahead and tell Nicole what's happening with him,
Mm-hmm.
with Martin, because she's tired of the lies. But here's
Yep.
something that we were discussing earlier. My whole issue is with the Dupree family, because what the Dupree family has taught us about him is that, about themselves, is that they know how to cover up the dirt. They know how to keep a secret.
Yeah.
They know how to cover it up, all while putting their nose up at everybody else. But the Duprees know that they can keep a secret, and they're all about the cover up. So they forever throwing stones when they live in the glass house,
The
the
biggest
biggest
glass
glass
house on the
house
block.
in Fairmont Crest. They live in it, but they feel they have the right to point fingers at everybody else and what everybody else has done. You used Bill because that was your son-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he did what he did,
Because
and
if you
I'm
would have
not
had another
saying,
dirty lawyer, you would have used him.
right, I'm not saying that Bill was right with Haley. That whole situation was messed up. We know that. But they treated him so horribly, acting like they didn't know what they know. And now that I look at this, what's happening, and go to hindsight, I feel that Bill was right to nudge them and say, hey, y'all remember what I did for you? That was pretty big. So
Mm-hmm.
I need y'all to come to the wedding. They didn't have to make Haley go, but they could have said, okay, we're going to show
You
our
mean
support to
Danny?
everybody else. I mean,
You mean
Danny.
Danny? Don't
Yeah,
do
I
that.
mean, Danny.
Don't do that to my girl.
They didn't need to make Danny go, but they all could have shown up their support and had everybody else, like they did, go and say, we're going to spare Danny, but we'll support, so that way Haley has the wedding that she wants. But Bill, I'm thinking now, was right to remind them and Martin, hey, Don't even, because y'all owe me something. And then to turn around and call Ted a jackass, as Vernon said, and all the other things he said about Ted. And Ted was someone else who used his plastic surgery skill to help y'all cover this up. Granted, he doing it for his son, but we all still in this together. And they still.
Now y'all got more secrets between him and his wife, and he trying to reconcile, and it's all y'all's fault.
It's y'all's fault. And Anita, you knew too, when you took your self-righteous behind down there to that hotel room, you knew what Ted had done for you too. Now stop it. And then you just now let the whole thing with Barbara come out. You said I was gonna carry that to my grave. So again, y'all have proven
y'all hold on to some stuff
that y'all are a web of lies and a glass house, and you
lies and deceit, lies and deceit.
And the only good thing about y'all was that Dupree name and the reputation that the people think the Duprees have, but y'all are unraveling very, very quickly. And Eve will be glad that you are not a Dupree, because it's in a minute you're not gonna want to be a Dupree.
Nope.
They got a lot of mess going on.
They got a lot of mess going on, Duprees. And I think, like we spoke earlier, the Duprees are up for nomination, especially Vernita. There you go. I was going to say, especially the matriarch and patriarch of the Dupree family.
Vernita is up.
Vernita Dupree, Vernon and Anita, you are up on the block for nomination tonight, because I am sick of. Okay, Marvella said they Pharisees. Okay.
Girl. Okay.
That part.
That part. Marvella.
That part.
I'm just saying.
We set y'all self-righteous behinds down there to that country club and put y'all nose up in the air and talked about Haley, talked about Danny, talked about everybody y'all could talk about. Put y'all nose up in the air like y'all was everything. And now I ain't gonna go there, Marvilla. She said Dupree's about to be undone like Diddy.
They ain't that bad.
Dang, not like Diddy.
Diddy. I pray they not that bad. But y'all sit down there with y'all nose up in the air, Dupree's, Vernon and Anita especially. Nicole, you too. And now you feeling it because you was all about, I got the perfect marriage, and Danny, you'll be all right. You were self-righteous indignation. Nicole,
she still is self-righteous.
She is self-righteous. It's like,
well,
but I'm sure she counseled how many people and told them, okay, you guys, you and your husband need to figure out your limits. You need to talk to each other. And she's just doing a total opposite of what any basic therapist is going to say. You're not even trying.
Well, like I told Keisha
I get
earlier, Nicole is not, at this point, it's pride, but we'll talk about her later when we get to them. So did we figure out who these kids are?
No, that's them kids. That's Martin and Smitty kids.
Yeah. I believe that the two children, the boy and the girl that are in June's photo, belong, or Samantha and Tyrell. Now, we were half right.
Copy of that picture.
We were half right because we thought that maybe Martin's incident had something to do with, and that's how they got the children. But we realize now Martin's incident was only 2 years ago, and they've had these children for a while. Right. So that still doesn't mean they can't be hers, because it seemed like she's been homeless for a while, and she's had a lot of backstory that we hadn't gotten to yet to figure out how she may have lost these kids and her husband or their father. So that's that. But I think the kids are hers.
I agree.
Otherwise, why else is she in the story? That's how I'm thinking where June fits.
The picture definitely seems to be a boy and a girl.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't seem like a 1970s picture. That this seems very faded. But if she's homeless, her belongings would be faded. But Her hair is freshly done. She got a nice
She
face.
keep that hair cut, right? The
She got
haircut,
the
and her
best.
nails look better than mine.
I was gonna say she got the best nails down in Tent City.
Skin is hydrated and full and blemish
She
free.
fresh.
Her
She
teeth
fresh
are,
out the
are very
laundromat.
pretty. She very
Her
white
teeth are
teeth for being
beautiful, and
homeless.
her clothes are fresh out the laundromat. She just came straight from around the corner to the Lavendera
Yep, they
and
clean.
got them
She
clothes out. She
She
clean.
the cleanest. Look, she the cleanest thing on the corner.
Let me tell you, she is that. I'm gonna need y'all. I'm gonna need y'all. We love the show, and we
But
say things about the show because we love the show. But costume department, I'm gonna need y'all to pay attention to detail.
At
That's
least put
all.
some dirt on her nails, something.
or tell her, boo boo, you can't get a fresh manicure.
Right.
You're gonna have to cut them down. They can't be sharp. They need to be dull. Yeah.
I mean, they can be grown, but they got to be a natural nail grown.
No, she had a point on hers.
She had a stiletto. You
Yeah,
saying?
she got a stiletto and a design. Didn't she have a design? Wasn't it like a French
I don't
design?
know. I couldn't see the design. She had the
I'm about to look.
They were short
I feel like
stilettos,
it was
but they
like
were stilettos.
But it was like a French tip.
Was it?
Yeah.
I believe it was like a French tip.
Now, in your defense, June, they could be press-ons, and that could be all that you could get, because you can do a nice little press-on set.
Yeah, that is true.
If you homeless, why is your priority to buy some press-ons?
Well, let me say this. Let me just say this. Back when I lived in Columbia, and I had my green Ford Explorer, which had stopped running, and I parked it down to the office that I worked, I noticed someone that was homeless in that area. They broke the back window out of my truck, and they basically moved in. And inside of there, when I went to clean out all the stuff that the homeless people had put in my truck, I found vibrators, handcuffs, all kinds of things.
Are you sure it was a homeless person and not somebody just using your car for extracurriculars?
Activities?
Listen, because they had it was like they had moved in, but it was all kinds of sexual things in the back of the truck with the homeless belongings. And I was like, oh my God. And that was my whole thing, is if you homeless, is this what you thinking about? But
everybody got to have a place to have insertion.
There's a need, obviously. So she got her some press-on nails. That's all. Well, Varvella, they built 27 sets. That's what they said. So right now, that's all we got is the different 27 sets.
I ain't seen 27 different locations.
It's gonna come up later as they doing it, but they built 27 sets. That's it. They got 27 locations that they built. I should have said that.
Let's see, we got Nicole's house, Danny's house, Ashley's house, the hospital, the police station,
Bill's office,
the hospital
Bill's
lobby.
office, Bill's house,
and Bill's house,
the
Naomi and Jacob's house,
Naomi and Jacob's bedroom,
yeah,
the country club,
Danny's
the hotel, the hotel, Leslie's house.
Yeah,
that's
the
11.
Did you say the police station?
We said the police station.
Joey's Casino.
Joey's Casino. That's
Orphan
I think we had 13.
Orphan
Jeans. Uptown.
I said Andre's house.
Uptown.
Uptown.
How many is that?
I think we had like
house.
16.
Did you get the Martin 17. Smith's house?
17.
And then the kid's bedroom, because we've been in their bedroom.
Oh, Danny's extra space.
Yeah, we counted that, and then we've been in Danny's bedroom.
Danny's bedroom.
So we almost at 20.
To go. We got a few more that they got to introduce to us. Well, Ashley's house, Ashley's apartment.
I said Ashley's house.
Okay.
Because I'm tired of looking at that little one room.
Yeah. So we gotta, we're gonna have to eventually get to Mona's house, I guess, and maybe.
Maybe we'll see Carlton's house.
You got the hospital room.
Carlton's closet.
Hey, Miss Lily.
Without the pants. to see where the pants are hung.
Where the pants are hung.
But
hopefully we don't see it with a visit from Nicole.
Yes. But speaking of Ashley's house.
Do we have to? Because she get on my everlasting nerve.
Ashley, baby, you do not know what you want. Or maybe you do know what you want, but you are in denial. But you are lying to yourself and everybody else about what it is that you want. And you are making everybody around you uncomfortable. And Andre, so are you. You're making everybody uncomfortable. Because y'all are lying to.
Uh-oh.
What happened? Uh-oh. Miss Mendez, where'd you go?
They lying to everybody, including themselves.
She'll be back in a minute. Because I don't understand. She's like, in the beginning, she was so in love. Then she comes back, and now she just don't
so in love now.
There you are.
She still claimed to be so in love.
Yeah, but girl, get your life.
That ain't
please.
Love, boo-boo. You're in
Like
love with the thought of being in love.
When he said, you're just holding on for something better.
She is in love with the thought of being in love.
She is. She is. And the thing is, yeah, y'all had problems. Y'all can get a bigger place. But why are you keep stringing this man along and saying, I want to marry you? And then he proposes, you implode like he asked you to cut your head off or something. I'm like, what in the world?
Because when he asked her about moving in, she was upset that he didn't ask about marrying her.
Right. But now
he said, your mind, boo-boo. What you want?
And now
the bigger apartment was like, okay, that was like an easy situation.
He suggested that, and she shot it down. She getting on my nerve.
No, this is Ashley's problem. Ashley, number one, likes to play the victim. Yeah. And Ashley likes attention. She is a thirst trap for attention. Long as she can play the victim and the damsel in distress, then Ashley is happy. But if she is not getting attention, Ashley is not. This right here is what she wants.
Well, but she can't handle it. She can't handle the truth.
Right. Then she had the nerve to go and implode on Naomi and say, how in the world did you let Derek propose to me? What?
Naomi
is your boyfriend.
That's your man. I'm going to tell the man, I'm sorry, but the woman you're going to propose to, you really don't know her, and she really don't want to marry you, and she's not ready yet, so don't do it.
If we would have did that when Poppy came, Ursula would have killed us.
What?
Seriously. Seriously. But the difference is Ursula is not wishy-washy and trying to string people along because she don't know what she wants.
I mean, this chick right here, she thought that, and first of all, what world is she living in that you can turn down a man's proposal and still have a relationship?
With no explanation now.
Yeah,
turn down a proposal with no explanation.
That is a move that women would do. We would say, okay, he wasn't ready. Let me figure out that. That's more of a woman move, not a man. You tell a man, no, he's not going to stick around and figure out how I can make you. He's going to say, you know what? On to the next.
That's all right. I got one for him. I got one for you, Derek.
But then the other two, the Naomi and Jacob, are starting to put it together because this person right here is always popping up in the middle of Ashley and Derek's mess.
Whenever they have some kind of issue.
Whenever there's an issue. So now he's questioning Naomi, giving her the third degree about, well, what happened? Well, what this and that.
Andre need to stop being Captain Save-A-Ho.
He does. Because if I'm not invested, Angela, you got plenty of friends. I am not asking you about your friends' relationships and what happened and say what now and what this, just because I'm curious. Keisha, I'm not in your friends' relationships outside of me. What happened? And what's going on? And what? Andre, you trying to get intel so you can figure out what's going on with Ashley. And you always showing up. And even Jacob said, I got a BS detector. And Andre, you lying. You want Ashley. Mm-hmm. And Ashley want Andre because she dreamed about him.
Yep.
But I tell you what, I was hoping when she went in there and threw up that she was pregnant with Derek's baby.
Girl, you and me both. Oh my God. I was like, please, Lord, let her be pregnant.
I never wished for a pregnancy so much.
For real. Like that right there would be hilarious.
Because what we would put her song was what, Messy? Yeah, that is exactly
I want Andre and Jacob favor each other. They just black.
They just same complexion and they got goatees. I don't think they look alike.
I don't think, but hey,
they're both nice looking.
The haircut.
It's the haircut. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But Ashley, you don't need to be with anyone because you do not know what you want and you do not know what makes you happy. And you need to spend that time alone so that you can figure out what happened. When I had the breakup in my relationship, I took a whole year off by myself to figure out what it is I wanted and what I didn't want. And once I figured it out, I sat down, I wrote a letter to God explaining who I want. And 3 months later, I have my husband. That's when we met. And he checked off all the boxes without even knowing he was being tested. So my advice to you, Ashley, and anybody else out here in this situation, in the midst of a breakup, don't know what you want, thinking about it, take some time to yourself to get yourself together first and figure out what it is you want. We're not there yet, Marvella. Follow the show. We're not there yet.
Marvella's skipping.
She need to figure that out, what she wants. Yeah. Ashley, I need you to.
And leave Andre alone. Leave Andre out of your foolishness.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think that Andre, they're going to eventually have them try it. Because I think Danny is going to be another one of those, my family, and push Andre away. And he's going to push him right to Ashley. And they're going to try it because they're desperate for each other. You know, when, like teenagers, when you tell somebody they're teenagers, you can't have something, you can't do something, that's the very thing they claim they want. So they're going to run to each other and then boom, it's going to implode because it ain't ready. It's just something they thought they got to get it out of their system. So I think
and at this point, it's already been written. So they got to go with it, even though it was a horrible idea from the start to make the one eligible black man go to the basket case.
Yes,
the basket case.
Yeah, they don't understand that. They didn't think that Andre was going to become all of our man. Yeah, and that we was gonna feel some kind of way that we was gonna lay claim to Andre. And I don't think Sean Freeman even prepared himself for what has happened. Because he's saying on his personal post, he can't go nowhere without everybody all over him. So I didn't think
we waiting on you to accept our invitation and be our special guest. I'm just saying.
Yes.
I'm just saying, Frat, we got a spot for you behind the gates. That's all. That's the post.
But with that being said, it is time for our announcements. So with that, let's go. Hold on. Here we go. All right.
Church announcements today are brought to you by BTG. And so we'll begin. Good morning, everyone. It was so nice to have you here today. We are so happy.
Good evening.
Good. Yes, it is. Good evening. That is right, sister. Thank you. So today we have a couple of announcements, and we're going to go through two of them right here that just got passed to me, and then I'll pass the torch on to the next couple of ladies. The Gamblers Anonymous meeting is not going to be held in the casino as it originally was by Brother Doug. That's not going to be appropriate. So we're going to hold it again in the fellowship hall with Brother Joey. Joey Armstrong is going to be in charge of that this time. That's a little bit more appropriate.
Right.
So our next announcement, hold on, let me get this one. Oh, Brother Joey is also involved in this. Sister Vanessa and Brother Joey will be holding a money ministry class on investments in real estate. That class is going to be on Tuesdays at 7:30, and the Gamblers Anonymous is going to be, it's going to be on Monday and Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So now y'all be sharp, because these times we got to basically get in and get out, okay? Because you got things to do. Got gambling to do.
Right.
Sister Keisha, are you next? You have your announcements.
I have some announcements as well. The Fairmont Crest Country Club is going to be hosting a speed dating event. The event's going to be hosted by Sister Shanice. It's going to take place on Saturday evening. And we do have a special announcement attached to that. Brother Derek, Sister Shanice would like to extend you an invitation as her special guest. For the speed dating. Okay.
That sounds good.
All right. And then I do want to lift up Sister Anita Dupree in her travels. She is gone to visit her friends and family in the south side of Chicago. They're preparing for the Articulates World Tour. She has also picked up a part-time job working in the organized crime unit. So we just want to wish Sister Anita our very best, safe travels, and we look forward to your return home. Additionally, the Fairmont Crest Job Fair will be held on next Saturday in the Country Club Fellowship Hall. We have urgent needs, and we'll be accepting applications for Garland Memorial nursing staff, the Garland Memorial security team, and Fairmont Crest security.
Yes. Because we need security.
Urgent needs there. So please get your applications in. Next announcement, we would like to just say thank you to the Nail Spa for their gracious donation of services to our homeless community. Please contact Sister Naomi Hawthorne if you or your company or organization would like to make additional contributions. But thank you to the Nail Spa for offering free manicures and nail sets to our homeless community on this week. And my final announcement, I want to just thank Sister Haley Hamilton. Thank you, Sister Hamilton. She has agreed to share her creative skills and will be hosting a Canva workshop to include how to create and manipulate fake medical records and ultrasound images. You may register on the church website to reserve your space.
My. Well, we have some late announcements that the pastor just passed to me, and then we can go ahead and wrap up our community announcements. But Orphagenes is sad to announce that their ice cream machine is currently down, and the management encourages all of you to visit your local McDonald's to get your ice cream before ordering their famous peach cobbler. They out of ice cream at Orphagenes, y'all. Ben's Chili Bowl downtown, it invites you all of Fairmont Crest to the unveiling of the newest mural honoring our very own Senator Dupree. So y'all make sure y'all go down and y'all support Ben's Chili Bowl. The B16 Survivor Support Group will meet this Wednesday in the Fairmont Crest CME Church Fellowship Hall. The special guest speaker for this will be Congressman Martin Richardson. This just in, McDonald's says their ice cream machine is also down, and they direct you to go get a summer Frosty from the Wendy's across the street. So y'all go to Wendy's and then go to Orphagenes to get your peach cobbler. The Fairmont Crest chapter of Cougars Are Us, where we like them young, will meet in front of the Howard University. Please contact Miss Danny Dupree for more information. So Cougars Are Us, get out there and get to your young buck out there at Howard University.
Favorite horse, ride a cowboy.
That's right. Dr. Carlton Fitzgerald will be hosting the annual White Pants Party on the golf course of Fairmont Crest Country Club. And Dr. Fitzgerald wants me to remind all of the guests that tighter is better. Okay? So y'all get them white pants, y'all get them tight white pants, and y'all go down to the country club, to the golf course, because Dr. Carlton's going to meet y'all there in his white pants. To all the single ladies, Mr. Andre Richardson is no longer available. I repeat, he is no longer available.
Amen.
So Miss Ashley Morgan, please go make up with Derek and stop placing your order. Your money has been refunded. Andre is no longer available. All right. And now, last but certainly not least, the 2026 BET Awards is looking for former girl groups to perform at next year's award show. So, Articulates, this is your chance to represent for doo-wop. Y'all go on down there and shake a tail feather. Why don't you? All right. And now, to our Behind the Gates community, there have been, we've been doing pretty good on the spam and the bots. But let's keep it up. If y'all see anything suspicious in our community, please notify us, flag it. We will take care of it. Do not order anything that does not come from Angela, Keisha, or myself. And also, remember, we haven't had a problem with this, but let's remember that we need to be mindful of each other, respectful of each other, no name calling, and no personal attacks of fellow gate members. Remember that everyone is entitled to their opinion, and it's a television show. It is not anything real about anybody else. We're all enjoying the show. So let's remember that we keep our personal attacks of fellow gate members not to a minimum, non-existent, because that's not what we do over here in our group. Take that to somebody else over there, to the CBS group, but not here. All right, Angela, it's on you.
Oh, okay. We thank you for those announcements. We appreciate them. We will take them into our thoughts and prayers. Again, I want to mention right now, Gatekeeper of the Week. How we can basically do that is become Gatekeeper of the Week. We can basically engage, comment, post, and repeat. And then with you guys doing that, we are going to basically pick somebody that is really engaging and really posting a lot. And that's how you're going to become the Gatekeeper of the Week. This week, as you see, we did the announcements. We didn't pick one last week because there wasn't a lot of engagement, guys. So want you to beef it up a little bit. But we know last week was a lot. I mean, the news and everything else, it was just a lot. So but try and get some escape time and basically seek us out and do some posting and get some engaging in there, right, Marvella? Engage, comment, post, and repeat. And that's how we're going to basically pick our next Gatekeeper of the Week. Although this coming week, we might have something special for you guys. So I'm going to leave that there. So we're going to have our commercial break right now, and then we will come back with some trivia.
All right.
Hit it.
Finished with you. 23-hour lockdown.
Very good. Oh yeah. This is it. Yeah.
Mac and cheese with a little bit of collard greens.
Hi, how you doing? Good. How are you?
Best empanadas.
Oh yeah? Yeah, like you guys like it?
Go on, Chelsea.
Yeah, so my horizontal line is a little off. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold tight.
All right, folks. So y'all go ahead and put in the comments the answers to tonight's trivia question, and we will tally them and give the answers back at the end of the night. But gatekeepers, now is your opportunity now to go on in the comments or in the group and vote for who you think should be kicked out of the gates this week and why. Remember, y'all have to make your case as to why you're nominating that person who can be kicked out this week. But y'all go ahead and do that now, either in the group or here. Y'all go ahead and say who you want to be kicked out of the gates this week. Now, inside of Danny's side room, which I still don't think why those young ladies thought that was a great idea to move in there and cramp the style, like y'all had places and how y'all got out the lease so quick. But anyway, Chelsea and Madison decided to have their first date, and Madison, she just didn't know what to do, so she ordered almost everything on the Chinese food menu. I was like, okay, go ahead, Madison. So they had this lovely, they go when they have this lovely meal. They talk about their families, what it was like to come out to their families and get to know each other. And I thought they did a pretty good job of conversation. One of those abbreviated, but what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, one of those all night get to know you conversations that they needed to do. This was a good start. However, I guess they just got swept up in each other and passion. And so they decided that they were going to have this nice candlelit love making session, which they just couldn't take it no more. But after the fact, Madam Chelsea declares that she is in love.
In love. She put it on her. Go on, Madison
Put the whip appeal. She got the whip appeal.
That would have been.
I ain't never had no whip appeal like that I'm in love.
That
one interaction.
I might have been in deep like after such an encounter, but I don't know about in love. But these young ladies, well, at least Chelsea. Well, no, these young ladies, because Madison said she felt the same way.
Mm-hmm.
They are in love.
Well, there you have it.
Too fast.
That was a good.
I
Yeah.
think so. I think it's too fast. Are y'all moving? We talked about this last week, but are y'all really moving this fast out there? And I mean, I guess now with the generation Z, Gen Z, as Chelsea would be, I think a lot of times y'all confuse sex with feelings and love and lastingness because of being physical. But at the same time, we as women, we have different emotions in terms of being that. So being that this is two women together, they may be more in touch with their feelings than it was if it was one with a guy.
Man
Because
and a
sometimes
woman.
a guy, they don't necessarily know where their feelings are. So maybe they can have a deeper, more intimate relationship.
Connection.
Maybe they can have a deeper
Maybe.
connection. I don't know. Maybe.
It still seems fast for me.
And so it's so fast that when she told Danny, they decided to go over and talk to Vernon about it and introduce grandfather to Chelsea. And I mean to Madison. And I was like, now wait now. This is a little
That was
fast.
quick.
We
I'm
already
like,
meet your family.
my God, I didn't
Y'all
do all that for a while.
Right. Y'all remember when Robin was dating Troy and waiting to exhale, and he said he wanted to take her to the family barbecue. She said, I don't think we're ready for family barbecues yet.
I know that's right.
Mm-hmm.
But they done went down and met Vernon, and one of the things that they brought home, that Danny brought home, which I think is going to what's up, babe? Raphael. I think that's gonna bite Danny in the butt is her comment when they was talking about the Duprees. We circle the wagons. We're a very close-knit family. We're all in each other's business. We care about what everybody thinks. We're very close. So therefore you paraded Madison over to talk to Vernon. And that's why Vernon was like, well, I want to hear from her. I don't want you to hear from her, Chelsea. But it's like everybody is seeking Vernon and Anita's approval. Like they set the standard in their family so high. Everybody needs that stamp of approval from Vernon and Anita.
Godfather, I tell you, they're the Godfather.
But they have proven that they, to me, are not necessarily worthy of all of this high praise. And I'm just going to leave that there.
Yeah.
But I do understand wanting your parents or grandparents to like your significant other.
But at this point, did they even establish that they were significant others yet?
I know. It's been what, 3 days? I mean, 3, 4. I mean, he was in the hospital for a while. One date and a couple of like meetings in the hospital.
Yeah, flirting
that's
and stuff like that. Yeah,
so that's really quick.
It's like it was very important for my parents to like Raphael, but by the time we got there for them meeting him, we had been talking and semi-dating and back and forth with several months at this point. So it was about 4 months at this point before they met my parents. Before Raphael met my parents.
Not 4 days.
No, not 4 days. 4 months. It was about 4 months before that happened.
Terrence didn't meet mine for 9 months.
See, there you go.
And that was just at my graduation. I don't know if I would have actually introduced him at that point.
I mean,
look, Walter's known my parents since we were in 6th grade. So
yeah, that was different.
Yeah, that's a different. But the point is, you got to get this person in and vetted in your life, in and out of your life, before you introduce them. Because next thing you know, they're gonna be like, "Well, what happened to that nice young lady you brought over here?" Oh, well, we're not together no more.
Yeah.
You got to make sure
whether family to get attached to somebody that's not staying.
Right. Whoever it is, you need to be in it long enough to know if there's any red flags, what's going on before you introduce them to the family, because You do not want the family looking at you like every function you bringing a different person to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know
What'd
the
you do to
auntie's
this
gonna sit,
one?
you know the auntie's gonna sit and talk about you. Every
Yes,
time that somebody else new coming to the house. Now, what she got going on? Is she in them streets like that? You already know the auntie's gonna talk. So don't let it every time. Exactly. So who Chelsea gonna bring to the door this time? Who coming over this time? You don't want to be that. So you want to sit time with Madison, just the two of you, and anybody you date prior to Madison, because I think Madison really gonna get too busy to be with you, and she has already raised a flag and a question about your lifestyle, picking up the
Madison
phone.
is way more mature than Chelsea, and I think that's gonna be their issue.
But one thing I think they skipped though, because she told Danny she was basically bi or she was gay, but she really didn't inform the rest of the family. So
I didn't know that she told Vernon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When did she actually tell him? She just brought some woman to the house and said, "Okay, this is my girlfriend."
I thought she told Vernon, "I have feelings for someone." I didn't know she told Vernon that it was a woman.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened when she was so upset about the other girl, the married girl, and she confessed to Danny then that she was in love with women, that maybe she wasn't bi anymore, that now she's a full-out lesbian. When she had a conversation, I think it was Kat, like that next day, she threw a line in there that said, "I called granddad and grandmom, and they were supportive of my choices."
Okay.
So she called them and told them, outed herself to granddad and grandma that she likes
so
women.
only one that doesn't know is Daddy.
Right. Bill and Nicole didn't know, because
Nicole didn't know.
She was like, "Oh,
yeah, look, they got poor Nicole all out of whack. Like, what the heck is going on?"
Right. What's
That's why
happening
she went and did all her craziness. Everybody's pulling
she
different
just
stuff out on her.
Yeah, she is on our own. And speaking of that, we're gonna skip ahead just a little bit, but Danny said, "Okay, Sissy, you're here. We're at the house while granddad is talking to Chelsea and Madison. Let's steal away for a second and let's you and I have a conversation." And they did that, and Nicole just completely lost her mind when Danny confided in her that she's been sleeping with Andre. And Nicole said, "Wait a minute, you mean Andre Richardson? As in my nephew, Andre?"
She said, "Your nephew, not mine."
Not mine.
Right, exactly. Like, we are not related. You need to remember that before you start tripping. I am not related to this man. And like I said, and she's right, because again, we talked about it before, the whole uncle and nephew and the two sister thing, because that's basically my family. So no, it's not what it is. But I think Nicole's issue was more so that she didn't know. And also,
it's another secret that she's basically left out of the loop of.
Right.
But the thing is, it's a secret, but it's nobody's business until it's made public. Just because Chelsea wanted to jump the gun and tell everybody who she was screwing after one date doesn't mean everybody wants to operate like that.
And it really was none of her business. So I mean, it's her sister's business, but I think she's just feeling so overwhelmed right now that she just and so sensitive. Everything that basically is coming to light is like just slammed on top of her, and she's just like, she can't she can't differentiate the priorities of everything. That shirt is so fly.
A round of applause for the blouse.
Is that from my favorite store, which is the dress I'm wearing also is from my favorite store. But anyway, no, what Nicole's problem is, she is prideful, and it's her pride. And it's that being that uppity Dupree, because she said, "I just wanted you to be with someone more appropriate." She keeps using this word, appropriate. So she's thinking about the age, talking about, "I was there when Andre was born." Okay, so he's grown now. I love Danny said, "Okay, but he's grown up now."
Trust me, he's grown up. Danny said he can smack it up, flip it, rub it down.
Flip it. He's good at flipping.
Right. So she said, I wanted you to have someone more appropriate. And even then she said, well, are you jealous? And she was like, of my nephew? No, because I got somebody. So you want to stick to your guns and hate Ted because you think that's what the family wants you to do, to be strong and say, I don't need nobody. And you mad that Danny got over that part and got her somebody, and you still sitting here looking stupid and lonely. Because you let pride run you. And Nicole, I need you to do better.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. I need you to do better. And
I really do feel like she overreacted a lot.
She definitely overreacted. And then when she turned around and rolled up in Ted's office with the paperwork, like, okay, we're going to dissolve this trust. We're going to fix our living wills. Like, I don't even want your name as my emergency contact no more. I want to go ahead and be done with you.
She's doing too much.
She is really crashing out. Shout out to Ted for a suit that fits.
Thank you, wardrobe department. Finally, listen. Finally, y'all got this man.
He had to go bring his own suit.
Stop putting this man in old Ted suits. They ain't the same size. Look like he's playing dress up.
But I do like the pastels on him. I think he looks nice in the pastels, and I do like this suit.
That green was nice on him.
It was very nice, and he had it thrown open with the little chain. You look nice today, Ted. You look nice.
Your clothes fit. He's happy.
Exactly. But she rolled up, want to dissolve everything, just throw Ted out with the bath water. And she did everything short of divorce. Like, long as this separation is going to go on, we might as well start dissolving that stuff. Why? It's a separation. It is not a divorce. Separation does not mean divorce. That means we separated and we can work on it.
That man said he want to come home.
She says, this is what I need to do for me. No, you need to show your family I can stand on my own and I don't need a man, that I'm getting back to the Dupree roots that y'all instilled in me, which, as we said, is a bunch of BS, because the Duprees have created this facade of a family, facade of a reputation that they are not living up to. So, Nicole, I hate it for you, boo-boo. You're going to crash really hard when you find out your family is not who you thought they were.
None of them.
Not everybody one lying. Of them. Not your mammy,
skeletons in the
not
closet.
your pappy, not your mammy, not your nobody.
Not your son.
None of them.
Nobody. No.
So now you're gonna be mad at your son
not
too,
even
because
the daughter. You don't
even
know it's your daughter yet.
And here's the thing: I know Martin now. Next week, that we know that Ted knows his secret, is gonna feel real bad for coming down on Ted for keeping a secret when you realize that Ted kept a secret for you. Yes.
The web of lies.
Teddy bear, teddy bear.
And Nicole was
just
so
learned your lesson, teddy bear.
She when we see behind the scenes, Ted listened to us and was sending her flowers every day. She said, I got them yesterday, the day before that, and the day before that. But you don't have to do that because I don't take them home. I leave them to the nurses. How cold and nasty is that? Like, you did not have to do that, Nicole. She trying to get her digs in any way she can because she hurt and she want him to hurt. Yeah, but I understand. I get it. I understand, because she said, every time I see you, I see Leslie. And I understand that kind of hurt. I get it, but she still didn't have to be so nasty and cold with it. Like, dang.
Right.
And she said, I'm having a hard time separating from the part where you said you love me and it we real, and the part that you was just talking out the other side of your neck when you didn't love me because you was laying with Leslie. I'm having a problem trying to figure out what that separation line is. And I felt her on that, because you did this. I mean, at least Ted, if you had told her back then, she would have had a line of demarcation and could have said, okay, now from this point, my man has been truthful and it's just been us.
Kind of.
But
he still told me about Martin.
Well, I was just going to say, but that just happened 2 years ago. He held this secret for 20 years. But then she's going to say again, you did not trust me enough to tell me the truth, especially when it concerned my little boy. You held on to this secret that could destroy her life and all of our lives, and you didn't tell me. So, Ted, listen. If you do anything else,
Please.
Now is the time to put all the cards on the table. You need to tell it about Martin. You need to tell about that time you cheated on that exam in college. You need to talk about the time you took that extra $100 from the practice to go to the casino. Everything that you can think about.
Mm-hmm.
You need to put it all on the table. You to
put
say
everything.
now.
You want to
You're
know
saying-
everything.
Look,
Here's
I didn't put down the
everything.
toilet seat on June the 2nd.
Exactly.
I forgot to
When you
wash
said
the
you fell
dishes
in
on
it,
June the
yeah,
3rd.
I left it open and I
Exactly.
forgot.
You cooked that meal and I told you it was good, but I was in the bathroom all night the next night.
Tell it all. Tell everything.
Everything.
Overshare.
Overshare. I paid her off. He keeps saying I paid Leslie off. It didn't work, but he ain't say it was $50,000 and it came out the savings that y'all had for retirement. You need to tell it.
That's why she wanted to dissolve them accounts, because nigga, you dipping in my money.
It's like, wait a minute, where's this money come? This loss from?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't be dipping in my money to pay off some other female now.
Exactly.
But he definitely needs to tell it.
She is feeling embarrassed because she was, like she said, prancing around like she was Miss Perfect Marriage, and looking her Dupree nose down at everybody else, and it came and bit her in the butt. And now she's vulnerable, she's prideful, she's hurt, she's embarrassed, and she's entitled to all of those emotions. But I think that she's doing a little bit extra because she is not taking her own advice by giving herself some time to just sit in this and figure out
process
what she wants.
everything and think
The
about
question.
it.
Don't throw blame on your sister because you're mad about your life. And
Exactly.
Teddy Bear, this might be your saving grace in this secret. I'm gonna need you to just bite the bullet and throw your father-in-law under the bus.
Yes,
your daddy told me I couldn't tell you.
Vernon can take it.
Yep.
Vernon can take it.
Yeah, she ain't gonna stay mad at daddy.
Yeah, throw your daddy under the bus, and Vernon, man up and take it. And have his back because he kept your secret.
Yes, exactly. Have his back and say, okay, because you had to know, Nicole, and you know that Nicole don't know. And you even said to Martin, do you know how bad this is? It would be if your mother found out what happened. So you pretty much was the one that said, do not tell Nicole.
Your mother.
Ted, do not tell Nicole. You knew exactly who in that room next week to assemble.
Yep.
So yeah, Ted, throw Vernon under the bus if you got to do whatever you got to do when Nicole find out. But you need to tell her.
Let her find out from you, not from the street.
Thank you. Learn your lesson, Ted. And you be the one to spill it. Don't let her find out again that you lied to her again. And Nicole, the question I have for you is, what do you want?
No, she don't know yet. You just need to be still and think.
Well, I'm gonna say she need to think. She need to sit and come to that conclusion. The question is, what do you want? Not worried about who cares what anybody thinks. Don't worry about what the family's gonna say if you take your man back. If you want your man, go get your man and work on it. If you don't want him, then Ted, we need to go ahead and divorce. I cannot forgive you, but you need to come to that conclusion because you cannot be on both sides of the fence. Because every time them flowers come, she might not take it home, but she read that card, it touch her heart, and she be like, oh.
Yep.
She misses that man.
Your sister. Let your business be your business and your decisions be your decisions. And Danny, hold fast. Right. Don't let your sister get under your skin. Don't let your perfect parents skew your decision.
Exactly.
If you want that man, keep that man. Nicole, if you want that man, take that man back.
I'm going to say this. Take a page out of Haley's book and say, this my man and I'm going to get my man by any means necessary. And I don't care what y'all think. Take a page out of Haley's book.
Yep.
Yeah, Marvella, they sent her. She sent them flowers to the house the first time, but as we saw the other day, the rest of them was at the hospital. They came,
Yeah,
so
apparently he sent the rest
they
of
were
them.
sending
Yeah,
them to the hospital because he ain't had nothing from a house at home. So Ted doing his due diligence. She just don't want him. But I'm so happy he said, "Let me come home," because I told Ted, "Go home, stay in one of the other bedrooms, but let her get used to your presence again." And see, Ted, he heard me. She might not want him. Sorry, y'all. But yeah, she don't know, but she needs to do what she need to do and understand. But Ted, keep pushing, keep pushing. Now, $10 million man. I didn't realize. I know that Bill was got paper, that he was a little well off. I didn't realize he was $10 million insurance policy well off. But he wants to take sure that Haley and the baby are taken care of. And so he called and had $10 million policy drawn up. But Bill, you need to get your people in order, because if you told him to set that up, what he calling Haley for to ask questions about what you said? That's between you and him. Right. Bill and the insurance agent. What you going behind him and calling Haley for? To say, is this right?
That's a breach of confidentiality.
You wasn't supposed to know that. You was just supposed to know that when he died, you had some paper. Now it's out the bag, and you just conniving enough. You might just try to unalive him to get the 10 million. Because now you know.
I was thinking that.
The word on the street is that she poisoning him or something to cause him to get sick. I don't believe that. I don't think I subscribe to that one.
I don't think so, because she's not gonna get rid of her meal ticket like that.
However, what I will say is, I know last week you issued an apology on our behalf. I am holding my apology hostage until I see next week, because I told y'all that heifer was lying. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, that's Danny's theory, because she says now she's gonna see. But first of all, we told her, do not go over there, Danny. Leave their house alone.
Right.
Every time you go over that house, something happens.
Every time you go over there, it's always something. And you just apparently gave her the excuse and the reason to come up with a miscarriage, because you stressed her out. So, Danny, I told you, and now you're in there talking about, no, she's trying to blame it on me. You should not have been in a position to have it blamed on you. You should have sat back and watched it all play out. So, Danny, you are too high strung when it comes to Bill's problem. He is not your problem anymore. You cannot save Bill from Haley. Go on over there and be with Andre. You're going to push that boy someplace we don't want him to be. But Haley, she just want her friend back. She want her husband, and she want her friend. She want her
friend ain't coming back, and I think she made that clear.
She wants Naomi. She said, I miss my friend, but I'm sorry, Angela, you start dating my daddy. Me and you cannot be friends no more.
Well, Sabrina can date him and I can't.
Sabrina can't date him either. Yeah. Even though my mama said, tell Sabrina to come on and get him, what she waiting on. And she said, I'll have him packed and on the porch. But still.
That girl is delusional. Like, what made her think just because we had a conversation, now we're besties again? No, boo-boo. That's
we're
not
back
how that
to
works.
being friends and talking Pilates and
you literally
You
literally were an integral part of the destruction of my family. Exactly. We're never going to be friends again.
Never, ever. Never, ever, ever. Never.
We are never, ever getting back together.
Getting back together, Taylor.
Yes.
Never, ever.
What he say on Friday? Don't ever come by here.
Around here again.
Don't come by no more. I'm gonna call you, but don't you come by.
Don't come by.
I think that it was noble for Chelsea and Naomi to say thank you for taking care of our father, getting him quickly, but that is about as far as our loyalty to you lies. That's it.
Basically, that's all.
So
That's it. That's
she
all.
feel all alone because she got nobody.
Oh well. Guess you should have thought about that
Nobody.
before you spread your legs for Danny's husband.
Exactly. She should have thought about that. But she got nobody. She said, nobody loves me, Bill. And I ain't got nobody, and I miss my friend. Well, she should have thought about it. Sorry, but not sorry. But on to the other side of the world, over down to Joey's casino. It's a lot going on down in that casino this week.
There's a lot.
A lot happening over there. And Vanessa goes and she gives Doug this ultimatum. I mean, not Doug, Joey, this ultimatum as to how they're going to play this with her laundering the money through her business.
She put on her big girl panties this week.
But see, Vanessa said, I done pop. And now because I popped it, you owe me. And now me and you are connected together because now we in the family way. And Joey's looking at her like, okay, I'm attracted to you, but you think that just because we were intimate that you just gonna run over me? Do you forget who I am? You have lost your mind. She says, I want 6%. And Doug, no, I want 12%, and Doug
12 for her and 6 for Doug.
And he said, you have lost your mind.
But he gonna give it to her.
Well, but then, okay, so we have been saying all along that we wanted Doug to step up. So now Doug trying to put on his big guy underwear.
Pants.
Too little, too late.
Up. Too little, too late. I agree. He is trying to now to say, listen, I don't appreciate what you got going on with him, and how dirty are you to sleep with this man behind my back? Like, he was throwing all of these digs at her, like, has he had his way with you, or are you back in the back rooms? You've been on top of the table. I mean, dang, it has been real crass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but you knew her lifestyle. Like, it's been like that since the kids have been in college, which has been at least a year.
Exactly. So, he should have never made it okay for her to be sleeping around. If he had a problem.
If you were upset with that, you should have brought that up a long time ago, but you were preoccupied with losing all the money. So
right.
At this point, Doug, the only way for you to salvage that is you got to become the bad boy that she won't.
Yes.
I don't know how you gonna do that. Because honestly, writers, I feel like y'all got these men way too weak on this show. Doug is one of the number one culprits. So we need him to man up so he can get his woman before them kids come home from school to a mess.
And all he got to do is go and get you a motorcycle and toughen up a little bit more. Let her see the bad boy. Because as he mentioned, and Marvella, you mentioning today, he said you like Joey because he's dangerous. You like that power. And she's like, yeah. He said that's what you're attracted to. So that tells you, Doug, Mr. Heart Surgeon, you need to open up your bad side. Mm-hmm. And like she said, you sitting out all hours of the night at this casino table is what got us in this mess. Partially correct. Because he was not connecting with her and claiming he had so many surgeries, and you got into this man for $250,000, which you really didn't because they were cheating you. Mm-hmm. But Doug, the first time you saw Joey pushing up on your woman, you should have nipped that in the bud.
You should have put a stop that in the bud right then and there.
Marvella, I feel like the women on the show are strong. I feel like the women on the show are strong. Part of the problem is they're too strong in the head.
I was going to say they're too strong.
I think the women are strong. It's the men that are weak on this show.
Yeah, I think the women are overcompensating because they're so strong. And I mean, and I get it when you kind of have a guy that is not as strong, that plays the weaker thing, you tend to overcompensate because I know in a prior relationship, I felt like I was the man in the relationship because my partner was not the strong man I needed him to be. So therefore, I felt like I had to be the strength for the both of us. And a lot of times when you do that, you tend to come off as overbearing.
Mm-hmm.
And in this marriage that I'm in now, I've had to actively work on dialing my forcefulness back and tapping back into my own feminine energy, because I was the man for
that
so
independent,
long.
you had to be everything.
Right. And now I'm having to get back into my soft spot and allow him to take care of me and take the lead, because that's not something I'm used to doing. But these men on this show, they just, I mean, you got this one, you got Jacob, who can't run his investigation without Kat, which he would never admit it to her.
And now Smitty.
Like, and Smitty, Smitty got more than he more forceful than Martin is, because he won't leave stuff alone. So Smitty like, yo, let me show you what I'm about.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you what I'm about. But
I really
Smitty,
need these men to man up.
Smitty, I need you to soften back up a little bit.
Yeah, except you, Smitty. You stop manning up.
Put Samantha
sit down and take care of them kids.
Right, because Samantha said, "What's gay sex like?" What? Did you come out your mouth with that?
You're not even answering that question.
Look, ain't nothing you need to know about that coming up in your class. So why are you asking me this question?
Smitty spit out his little coffee, whatever he was drinking.
I
did all over his sweater.
I too spit out my coffee.
Like, what are you talking about? So,
your daddy, girl,
Doug, man up, but not too. I mean, you're in a very bad position, Doug, because Joey can do some things to you and make sure you maybe not be seen again if you get too out of pocket. So you're gonna have to play this safe. And Vanessa, I hope that you are Team Doug and not Team Joey, and you really playing Joey to help Doug, because right now, Vanessa, I can't read you what angle you playing.
Because I was thinking she couldn't be doing
Doug,
that.
like she said. I think she's loyal to Doug, but I think that she is very attracted to the bad boy and getting her rocks off in the process.
She is.
Because we all know she gonna get him off regardless. He just happens to be the subject of her current interest.
Right. Speaking of interest, let me pose this question. If you all decided to launch a line, would you stop at one garment or maybe 2 or 3? Because there's an issue now with the Chelsea Cat bag launch, because there's another company that says Chelsea's bag is their bag, and the whole launch is in jeopardy. But there's only one bag, because I'm thinking, hold on to this one and launch the others. But guess what?
There are no others. Because this is my thing. How you launching a line and you ain't got a line?
We only got one bag.
That's not a line. That's a bag.
You have a product.
Like, what were you doing all this time? You said you were
quit
ready
your job for one bag.
I know.
One bag, one little silver little bag that you set down on the runway, and that's what you quit.
That was ugly.
Okay,
not a couple.
One bag.
Yeah, just one bag.
One bag.
But you had all this time to be working on a sketchbook and all these different designs and all these different things.
Trying to find her a woman.
She been tending to her love life.
And Cat too busy playing secret agent woman.
Exactly. Yeah. Now y'all got these problems, and you moved in Danny's place and talking about a showroom and with nothing else to show but this one bag.
What are you showing?
You're not in there sketching. I hadn't seen y'all touch a fabric and design nothing. So Chelsea, I'm gonna believe that you might have took this person design, because I hadn't seen you designing and putting nothing else together for the rest of these
I don't see no design table. I don't see no sketchbook. I don't see no pencils.
Girl, they don't use no pencils no more. They use the iPad. You know, Gen Z do everything electronic.
But
I
she
mean,
is
but
always on there.
still.
But still, you got to
But
have
no,
fabric
she
if
ain't
you're
never
going to do a
designing
design
nothing.
for a bag. You got to have some fabric
Exactly.
watches, something, some leather, something. It's got to be. You got to have. It's a textile thing. She's got to have some stuff.
But and what would help her case? And then I know that Bill is super lawyer, super fixer. But if she has nothing else to show that it comes out of her creative brain, but just this bag, that's not helping her case anything. Because she can say, I designed all these other bags, and none of your bags look like any of the other ones I designed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
I got this thing, but you have nothing else.
Nothing.
So, Chelsea, listen, my advice to you, if you want to keep Madison, because Madison is about her business, she is a doctor. Be about your business and your line. She's attracted to you, but she does not like you on that social media all the time. She does not like your hand in your
Girl,
phone. The
pause.
phone in your hand all the time.
Right after you get done, the first thing you do is get on your phone.
You grab your phone.
Come on now.
Wait a minute, not the first
I ain't
thing.
mad at Madison. I'm mad at Chelsea.
She fixed her bow on her dress to make sure she was put back nice and pretty, and then she picked up her phone.
Look, and then while Madison's telling her about herself, she's still scrolling. Like, you can't even put the phone down to have a conversation with me.
That's why she got to need this. She's too much on the phone. She's addicted.
My people need me. They need to hear from me, or my algorithms will be all messed up. Well, it sounds like you need to hire a social media manager. And then you need to get to designing your bags and be about your business and be into your woman and put the phone down, because she has already raised, you have given her a red flag, not the other way around.
And that's two red flags. When they were talking about her putting everything online in the hospital, she was kind of like, that her whole life is on the stage and on screen. She already had a little kind of like look on her face, and now here you go all the time on the screen.
Exactly. So
we already know it's a problem. That's why the world know her mama shot that wedding up.
For real.
Oh, she's like, know about the other
that was
thing.
so
What
bad.
was the other thing she had the camera on for that Naomi had to tell her to turn it off for? What was going? Oh, Leslie in the party.
When Leslie showed up, like, why are you sitting here with your camera on, fool?
I mean, you need a social media manager. Now y'all saving money because Danny's not letting you pay to stay her. So that money you were spending on that apartment and everything else y'all had going on, you can pay some little college student, or Samantha, or somebody to run your social media so that you can sit down and design these bags like you're supposed
clearly
to.
You need to spend some time designing these bags.
And woman up, because Madison impresses me as she's going to want a woman that's on her level. She is taken aback with you by now, but that's going to get old with her because, again, she is a doctor.
Right.
So you need to be about your business, be the CEO and a creative mind behind your line, and do your job. Get
in
off
the words
phone,
of Sierra, level up.
Games. Level up, Chelsea, level up. That's the only way you're going to keep Madison, boo. Otherwise, you're going to be taking the next flavor of the month down to meet Vernon next month. If you don't do that, because Madison is going to break your heart. And speaking of broken hearts, listen, Kat. Let me say this. Let me say
that man is not interested in waiting.
You are a virgin, and that is admirable. And I am going to be the last person ever to tell you, Kat, to turn over your virginity, because I think that is a precious thing. However, you know that this man, he's being patient now. He's not going to walk down the aisle and wait till he get it. He don't seem like that type of Boricua. So you need to try to step back and not really pursue this relationship if that's not where you're trying to have it go, because Tomas is not the one.
And your sister is doing it.
He's saying in your face, I'm respecting you and I understand, but rolling his eyes behind your back,
like
when he
did,
over your
literally
shoulder.
Behind your back.
The man got to go take a shower for a good 10, 15, 20 minutes.
God.
Let
me call Eva.
Right.
Let me call you. Oh my goodness.
Kat, I'm trying to be respectful of you and your wishes, but This man,
You can't keep
I'm out
leading him
here.
on like that.
I'm
Don't be
ready to.
kissing
I'm
him
ready
up to
to
the
mingle.
point that of
He ain't
exhaustion like
one.
that.
I need somebody to take me on over the edge because these two little girls, well, this little girl I'm tired of playing with. And I'm really over here because Bill sent me, to be honest, because he wants me to find out what's going on with his girls. So I'm really kind of covert, but I want to get some goodies behind it too. So maybe I can make it more real. But you're going to mess around, Kat. And like I said, I'm not telling you to give up your virginity. That's the last thing I would say to anybody in that position.
But don't
hold
go
on to it as long as you can
with it either,
girl. But
right, that's what I'm gonna
recognize the
say.
signs, and if he ain't it, he ain't it, and he ain't it.
Go on and let Eva do it, because Eva will pop it in your place, and you go and find you somebody down to the church.
She going to though. She ain't lying. Eva's gonna do it.
Eva is going to do it.
It might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen next week. But in the future of Beyond the Gate, it's going to happen. And even when they mend fences and become real sisters, that's going to be the riff. Eva going to have the man.
Listen, if Tomas had not backed up in that hotel room, it would have went down then the way Eva came on to him. They would have pushed him back on top of that bed, and it would have went there.
Yeah. If what happened last week happened after that interaction today,
yeah,
Eva could have got it.
Yeah.
Chelsea acts like a teen.
She does. Chelsea acts like a child. She's very immature.
Mm-hmm.
She's not handling business. That's right, Lynn.
And I think that
Lynn.
She Kat, she likes the idea of a boyfriend, and that's fine, but she need to get her a boyfriend from VBS and not this lawyer across the way. Somebody that is going to respect what she's got. I'm not saying Tomas is not that kind of guy, but he's not there yet. He's not on that same spiritual level you trying to be on, or whatever you trying to do. Because I don't even know if this is a spiritual thing. I just think that you just hadn't found the right one yet, and you realize you're just trying to hold on to it. But either way, Eva's gonna pop it in your place.
Yep,
and
sure is.
You're gonna get hurt. But anyway,
she
with
went
that,
over there and she didn't even discuss the case. She went straight to talking about evidence and everything else. She didn't even talk about her business, which was the pocketbooks. Kat was over there talking to a lawyer and didn't even talk about the case that the people basically the lawsuit. I'm like, how are you gonna come over there and talk about not your business, your company?
Right.
She needs to Marvella, what are you saying? She needs to require him to do what? Oh, wait or move on?
Yeah, I think she was trying to say wait. I mean, she
told
him.
She has asked him to wait,
but she can't be flaunting it like that.
Wait.
She can't be teasing him with it either. He does need to be patient. Now, I agree with that, but she can't be bringing the man to the point. And
he only gonna be as patient as he gonna be.
My thing is
can't be giving him to the point.
One of my pastors from Georgia, he was saying when he was on that journey of waiting, and he would go out with a young lady or whatever, and she'd come on to him. He left. He said one night she was in there trying to, I'm gonna change into something comfortable. And when she went to change, he left out the front door and went and called his spiritual brothers and said, "Pray with me, brothers, because I'm weak." He went to join the prayer circle, but he did not put himself in that situation.
You don't put yourself in that situation if that's your plan. Exactly.
And she is playing with fire. Every time she turned around, she got her tongue down his throat. They kissing like God knows.
Well, I mean,
this is new to her. The kissing part is that
deep. When we were of a certain age, before we were experienced, we did the whole rubbing and grinding and all that stuff. But y'all grown, and you're not dealing with a little boy. You're dealing with a grown man who has had experience.
Exactly. That's the difference. He's not dating someone her age. She's not dating someone her age.
Naive and very
Tomas is at least 5 years older than her.
He ain't it, Kat.
Yeah, she doesn't get that. Yeah, that's a lot for a man. I mean, not he needs to wait. I'm not saying that. I believe in her too, basically trying to wait until later, but you can't bring him to that point. But he needs to move himself out of the situation. It's like, okay, Kat, no.
Well, and he said, what are you waiting on? What do I need to do? What are you waiting on? And she's like, I don't want to be, what did she say? I don't want to be no lunch break afterthought.
Well, I agree with that. It's like, yeah, I don't want to do it now.
Listen now, lunch break. I need this to last.
I need to make it last
now. I'm just saying. Lunch break ain't all bad.
I think she is looking for something serious and not a casual relationship. And
well, for one, they have not established themselves as being in a relationship, and as he keeps reminding us.
That part.
So that needs to be, Tomas, if you want it, this is your first step. You have to claim this woman as your woman and then court her accordingly and romance her.
I want to say that Kat, we definitely, I think, is over 21. She just had a birthday.
She's graduated college. They did say she's graduated college.
So she's probably in that 22, 23 realm. I don't think she's 25. I think Tomas may not be quite 30 yet. He's definitely older. He's somewhere in that 25 to 30 range.
I think she's like 23 to 24, somewhere in that range.
Because he would have had to have gone to law school, graduated, and now come in and be working for Bill. So that puts
at the most, Kat is 25.
Yeah, at the most.
Now, are her and Chelsea the same age?
They're very close. I think Chelsea might have about a year or so, maybe, but very close in age. So all of them all right in there together. And Kat is how many? Then Martin, and Martin is probably right at 30 supposedly. So that will put Kat maybe about 25 because he was a top, whatever when Kat came along. So
little man, right? Her little man. What do you say?
Yeah, little brownie man.
Brownie man. Yeah.
Did we touch everybody?
I have not missed her this week at all.
I haven't either. I think we touched everybody.
Yeah, I think we did.
So
I missed Leslie this week with her chaos.
I didn't miss her at all. I get it. She's the villain in the show, and that's all well and gravy. But I feel like that story is done.
It's not done. They just got to come out with a new way to keep it going. She got to up her level of crazy up.
Well, I mean, at this point, I don't even.
The evidence is out the window. Now we just got to see what they're going to do with that napkin and everything. If they're going to even let that be admissible.
Because when did it take that long to analyze some DNA? Jacob, you need to call your grandmother-in-law. Your grandmother-in-law works in the lab. She can look it up for you. She'll get the results for you quicker.
Anyway, we're gonna be right back with our trivia answers.
Looks like you still managed to go a little over the top, even though she handcuffed your plans.
Mother, I am never going to apologize for celebrating my miracle baby's birthday.
Nor should you. But what you should be celebrating is that Kat hasn't stopped you yet.
You're right, the day is coming where Kat will not allow it. Oh, can you do me a favor and spray the Febreze? It always makes the house feel so fresh and welcoming for parties.
You stole that trick from me.
I learned from the best.
Febreze, refresh and energize. I don't know this scent. Ooh, that's nice.
Oh, I hope Kat enjoys herself. She pared my list down to only family. I wanted to go full-blown Bridgerton meets Bratz with costumes and everything. This is our compromise.
It's very nice.
Oh, and she will appreciate this too. Kat insists on it. She says for parties, you gotta have the Febreze to set the vibe.
All right. So, Angela, who got
our winner is Miss Marvella.
Woo!
She's got number 1 and number 2 correct, and she went in.
Marvella.
Mm-hmm.
All right, congratulations!
So another entry into our drawing for our basket, which is coming in December. So for you guys that are not watching, when we have our trivia questions, we basically, whoever can get the answers correct gets a drawing into our basket. I guess, what do you want to say? Giveaway. Sorry, I went blank for a minute. It's been a long day. Gets our basket giveaway, which is going to happen in, we said, around December and Christmas. That's what we were saying.
Yeah.
So yes. So ladies and gentlemen, keep your posts and everything coming. And that's it. So what else we have?
All right. So
it's Ursula's line.
What's okay? What? Y'all go ahead and vote again for who you think should be kicked out of the gates this week and why.
I'm with Keisha. There's only one.
Well, we have to make a case, and my case is this. I said earlier, my case is for the Dupree family for the reasons I previously stated. I don't appreciate their high and mightiness. I don't appreciate them throwing rocks and hiding their hands. I don't appreciate them being so prideful and realizing and how they carry themselves, but doing the dirt behind closed doors and holding on to secrets, creating situations and trying to cover them up. They do a lot of backpedaling, a lot of lying, and a lot of, when you build a web of deceit and lies, you got to keep lying to cover up the lies that you already told. So you got to keep going instead of everybody saying, okay, this is what happened. Let's take it and fix it. They just keep adding more dirt and more dirt and more dirt into the pile, and more people are going to be hurt. And the web is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And they keep dragging more and more people into it to cover up. And this is not the end. I think this is the big secret. But as Anita proved to us, there's more secrets within secrets upon top of secrets.
Right.
And they brought everybody in. Like, you got Ted in on the secret now that his marriage already in trouble. Ted don't need no more drama.
No more secrets. He does.
And here we are with more secrets and more lies. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, I guarantee you, because the way Bill tell it, it's more than one thing he's done for the Dupree family that he's had to get his hands dirty with. So Dupree's, I don't blame you. I mean, everybody has secrets. I'm not going to sit in this chair and act like I'm high and mighty and self-righteous either. But my problem is the fact that you're not humble and you act like your ish don't stink while you pointing the finger at everybody else. So you are not behaving like a family whose world can implode at any moment. You are acting very self-righteous and like you don't live in the biggest glass house in Fairmont Crest.
Right.
So that's my nomination, is for the Dupree family as a whole, but more specifically Verita. Hey, Allie. Yes, more specifically,
Hey,
Verita.
Allie.
Vanita. That's it. We said. All right.
I'll go
Well,
next.
my
Keisha,
nomination, of
you're gonna
course,
go.
y'all
Go
already
ahead.
know. I didn't got to go into it, and I think it's a universal. We are tired of Ashley and them tears and the whining and the indecisiveness and the just you doing too much. You don't know what you want. You getting on everybody's nerves. You already dry and boring, and now you old crybaby on top of it. Just
Yeah.
leave.
Just tired. Just tired, Ashley. Tired. So I'm
Yeah.
with Keisha. I'm just tired of her wishy-washiness. She doesn't know what she wants. She knows what she wants, but she's too scared to basically even say anything when she had the chance way back when he came back into town in the first place. If you wanted the man, that's when you should have stood up and basically said something. But you didn't.
Well, she was already
So
dating
now here
Derek
we
at
are.
that time.
But if she wanted him, she should have made it known at that point in time. If she wanted to
And she
be in the
should
little
have not
ring.
strung Derek along and broke up with him if she didn't want him.
Right. If you were going to have feelings for somebody else, you needed to basically let that be known. And so now you got this man proposing to you, offering to basically move into a house, a bigger house with you, start a life with you, everything you said you wanted. And now you just basically, I don't know. It's just not going to work. Gosh.
Well,
Now,
again,
I also am not against Nicole. I'm kind of sick of you too because I get it. You grieving, you upset, and you have every right to be, but you do not have to take that out on your sister because that really ain't none of your business. She didn't have to tell you.
She really did.
I'm just saying.
Her sex life is her. She's not your child. She's your sister. And even
Be
if
happy
she was
that
your
she
child,
told
she
He
you.
grown
grown
at
and
this
he's
point.
grown,
She
and that
grown.
ain't
Their sex life is her sex life. That's just nothing to do with you.
And you're right. And Nicole, you're talking out of both sides of your neck because you kept saying, well, if you had told me, that's what you kept saying to Ted. And then you
So
asked
now,
her and she said she lied, but she's telling you now. And now that she's telling you, you still blowing up about the truth. You can't have it both ways. Do you want them to lie to you because you're going to crash out, or are you going to act a fool when they come and tell you what you say you wanted it?
right.
Yeah, your whole thing is I would rather it not be happening, it not happen, period. But that's not the world and the universe
That's
we
not
live in.
life. You
So
can't
now
get
that
mad because nobody don't tell you nothing, and then when somebody tell you something, you act a donkey
you
because
act a
nobody don't
fool.
want to tell you nothing because they don't want to deal with your crash.
Exactly. So Nicole, you are the therapist. You are saying, I want to know. And then they tell you, and
You don't want to know.
maybe that's why
you make
Vernon
them.
said she didn't need to know, because he knew she was basically going to just take everything and she was going to crash because he knows his child. So
And that
maybe
could
that's
be
how
it
she's
too.
always been.
But my thing is, if that is the case, and you know that you can't take news, then stop telling people to tell you news. Be okay with being in the dark. If your heart can't take it. But the fact that you are a world-renowned, award-winning psychologist, and you can't take news in your own family, again, that goes back to me believing my family is perfect. I'm prideful and happy to be a Dupree, and nobody can touch us. And yeah, Allie, I get she tired of people lying to her, but she make people lie to her because of her actions and her reactions to the news. So they have to lie to her because she
falls apart.
She falls apart. She goes crazy. She crashes because she don't want to hear what everybody else going on that doesn't fit inside her perfect little box and her perfect little world that she has created for herself. So she makes people have to lie to her. Because I'm pretty sure Ted didn't want to lie to her about Leslie. I mean, I know no man is going to come up and say, hey, baby, I cheated. Get over it. But she was having all of the different medical issues and everything, and she probably was super vulnerable. He couldn't dare add another thing to her, being super fragile. Exactly, Marvella. So they fast forward, and then you have this thing with Martin, and you might have wanted to tell her, but you know, okay, maybe Nicole is, she probably make us go.
Maybe it was at the time that the
thing.
baby was sick. If she said miracle baby, maybe it was too much at that point.
No, I'm talking about Martin's issue. It was only 2 years ago.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, that's true. No.
Yeah,
it was only 2 years ago.
Yeah, nope. Can't
I
help
think
you
that
there, Nicole.
Vernon said, "Don't tell her," and Ted, what he might have wanted to, they probably didn't want to have the police involved, and he knew that her conscience, her goody two shoe conscience, wouldn't hold this secret because she's gonna parade Martin to the police station herself or to the grand jury and say we gotta fix it. So they were right not to tell you, Nicole. But you need to get yourself together, and you need to tap into that other part of the Dupree family, that other part that get down and dirty and act like somebody. Then maybe you can be told some stuff.
Right.
But anyway, with that being said, Keisha, are you ready to kick somebody out?
Allie said, I thought it was Allie. Somebody said something about somebody else I had on the list, and I agree. Who was it? Oh, Haley. Haley's on the list because I don't know why you think that them girls are supposed to forgive you and adopt you as their stepmama. You crazy. You crazy and deranged, and you lying about that pregnancy. But that's another story for next week.
Yeah, we'll get into that next week. So Haley, you're on the block also. But have you made a decision, Keisha?
Yeah.
All right, wait a minute. All right, so y'all, breaking news.
We don't even need Ashley, get your ish and get out.
Get out.
Goodbye. You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Yes, she is. She really
is.
Literally.
Bless her heart. So
but look, Ashley, you're doing a good job because you got us all hating you.
Ashley has been evicted out of Fairmont Crest this week.
You are working them tears. It is working our nerves. So, yep.
I think this whole thing went bad for her because she had already set up her. You need to go sit in Nicole's. Wait, no, you don't need to go to Nicole. You need to find another psychologist right now.
Yeah, Nicole ain't. She ain't there for herself.
You already set your mind up, ready to be hurt and fragile again, thinking he gonna break up with you, and then he proposed, and you were so stuck in the "I'm about to leave here" crying mode. That's exactly what you did. You made the situation be so that it was what you manifested it to be. That's what you wanted. So you got what you wanted. It was all up in your head. And poor Derek, he was just trying to do the right thing. He just trying to do what I told him to do and marry that girl. And look at what she did. But anyway, Keisha, performer of the week.
Performance of the week. It's going to be a duo this week.
Well, actually, no. I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We're going to get into who torched the runway and some.
Yes. Okay.
And some things. We're going to go to the runway for us. All right, y'all. Well, wait a minute. Remove. Bye, Ashley. You are the weakest link.
Toodles.
finished with you. 23-hour lockdown.
It is good. Very good. Oh yeah.
I just really cool for mac and cheese with really good the collard greens.
Hi, how you doing? Excuse me. How are you?
Best empanadas.
Oh yeah? Oh, yeah? Like you guys like it?
Yeah, so my horizontal line is a little off. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold tight.
All right, y'all. Who's in need of some prayer this week?
Child, everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody at Fairmont Crest.
It's me, oh Lord.
I'm gonna pray for Haley. I'm gonna pray for Haley because Haley is all alone. I think Haley is really starting now to face the consequences of her actions, which I think that she was so all in love at the beginning. She was swept away with I got my man, and now that is settling in, you realize that maybe your man is not enough, that you had a life or some friends and some things outside of Bill that he can't give you. Because let's face it, I mean, we love our men, but we also cherish our time with our girls and that time that we have away. And when you don't have that and all you have is that man who on a lot of levels cannot relate to you, it's hard. So I'm gonna pray for Haley that she find her some good girlfriends. It's not gonna be Naomi.
At
I
all.
need you to understand that it's not gonna be Naomi.
Ashley need a friend. Go be friends with Ashley. Show Ashley how to get an old man.
Ashley is Naomi's best friend. You gonna take another best friend from her?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Ain't gonna happen.
You really trying to get her hurt.
Her and Shanice might pick up a hookup because they went in the kitchen
Nah,
earlier.
listen, I told you I need Shanice to go hook up with Derek.
No, not hook up like that. I'm just talking about as a friend. That's her. Yeah,
if she hook up with Derek, then they ain't gonna be friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they need Haley needs some prayer. Who y'all praying for?
I am praying for Vanessa because she is going to be in a world of trouble. She keep pushing and pushing in this mobster territory. She must not have watched Sopranos.
I'm praying for Nicole.
She need to be careful unless she is like trying to plot something against him to kind of get something on him to put him to take him down. But I don't know if she's trying to do that or not right now.
Yeah,
but
it don't feel like
it's
it.
good for her. She got some kahunas, but yeah, if she just need to be careful.
Yeah, you're right. She need her hand over. Marvella said the whole staff need God's protection and guidance. You're right. Everybody. Well, with that, Angela, we have your gatekeeper of the week. Well, hold on. Let me do this either way. Hold on. Okay, Angela.
Okay, so to become the gatekeeper of the week, you guys have to engage, comment, post, and repeat. So that's how we're going to do that. And as you keep doing that and doing that and doing that, we're seeing who is more engaging and who is posting and who is just becoming, putting all that, well, not putting all, but just in there, just showing us that you're paying attention to this channel and you're looking and you're basically telling us what's happening, because we love seeing that on the chats and everything like that. So y'all keep that up and basically post more and tell your friends to post and tell your family members to post. My mother called me again just now to say she's watching. Hi, Mama.
Hi, Mama.
But you need to post, Mama. You need to type something and say hi. You can't call me because I'm basically on live right now. But yes, post and comment and repeat, guys. And so we will love seeing that. We don't have a special guest we don't have a gatekeeper of the week this week. Next week, we're going to have something special, which Keisha is going to bring to us. Right now.
Hold on, Keisha, before you have that announcement, I want to add something to what Angela said. Gatekeepers, I need y'all to pay attention. I love that y'all accept the invitations and y'all become part of the group, because there's 339 of you. I love that for us. But y'all are not paying attention to the posts and engaging enough in this group, because I have put up 3 opportunities for free entries for the baskets, and y'all are missing these entries. It's like 1 or 2 of you all that will say something, and it's the same ones. It is 339 of you all, and y'all are gonna mess around and either let Allie, Marvella, Lynn, or Miss Pat take this basket from y'all. Those are the 4 people I can name that got all the entries.
They are on there. We love y'all now. Don't get us wrong. But yep, they're in the running.
But we want to know y'all too. So that means y'all need to comment and engage. We want to know y'all just like we get to know them.
That's right.
We know them by name.
Y'all need to come on. And when I throw a free post, I mean, you might not get the trivia. Okay. But watch here in the show, we get to know who you are. But when I throw out free entry, just comment emoji, and y'all don't do it, y'all telling me y'all are not engaging with this community.
Not paying attention.
We want y'all in the group. I know when you go to other groups, they are all over the place. You can't even keep up with the posts. There's so many people posting and engaging, but they don't know each other. We're building community. We want to know you. We're small enough now that we can all know all 300 of us, honestly, or at least get used to seeing the name. So y'all, please pay attention to the post, at least the post from your admins, because most likely it's going to be a free entry or something you need to know. So
right.
Please. Okay. Keisha, special announcement.
So because we do not have a gatekeeper this week, because it's been another quiet week behind the gates, which will hopefully be rectified next week, we did invite a special guest. For those of you who are following us on TikTok, and if you are not, then please do. And Ursula, when you get a chance, pop up our links. But Slick the King, who is one of our fellow TikTokers and very much interacts about the show And if you aren't following him, definitely follow him. Very entertaining, very insightful, very interesting input on the happenings beyond the gates. So he is going to join us on next Friday evening. We are very excited to have him as a part of the show and have his input on what's going on behind the gates of Fairmont Crest. So make sure you go follow him. Make sure you are following the Behind the Gates podcast on TikTok as well as the other social media platforms. But definitely tune in next week and join the three of us plus Mr. Slick the King to discuss next week's events in Fairmont Crest.
And just so that y'all know, Keisha mentioned it, and we would do it later, but I'll show it now and then again later for you all to follow our socials. So get your phones out. If you're watching on your phone, get a piece of paper and a pen, write down these so you can go and follow us on other platforms. And that was another free giveaway. I said, go follow us on the other platforms and you get an entry in. Anyway, come all right, y'all. I'm gonna be like Kendrick Lamar and They Like Us, and we're gonna run that back one more time. Strange hearts and strange love. Will you give it to me? Will you take the pain? I will give to you again and again. And will you return it? All right. Y'all make sure y'all go and follow, and make sure y'all go and pay our special guest some love and follow his account. If y'all need it one more time, here it is, at Slick the King. Go on TikTok and follow him. Show him some love. Leave him a message to let him know you are showing him some love from behind the gates and you are excited about welcoming him to our podcast next week. Y'all go ahead and show him some love. Yeah. Let him know that he has an audience that's following him already and looking forward to his arrival behind the gates with us. So, Allie said Instagram won't let her follow any more people. Can she get an honorary entry for trying? I'm gonna need you to set up a second Instagram account.
Wow, Allie. Not they put you down.
I'm sure that everybody you following is not having all the the content that you want to see. You don't see them all the time because the algorithm don't give you all that. So you can go somebody on that list that you don't really engage with and unfollow them and follow our account. Or either go in there and hit add account and set you up another account. Put on there Gatekeeper of the Week at Instagram or something. Allie Instagram, something. Get on there. Get some more people. And but you can share and you can let people know we're here because we need to get the numbers up. We want to earn our blue check the right way and get our show out.
She needs a burner account for me.
Exactly. You need to get you a burner account for
Yes, get your burner.
And follow us. But y'all, please go show this man some love and let him know that you are commenting him and following him, and you can't wait to see him behind the gate. So y'all show Slick the King some love. He will be with us next week. Give him a nice warm welcome. Show him how we do things over here. Keisha, performer of the week. Now you can do it.
Okay, so now performance of the week. It is a duo. It is a double performance of the week. I loved the interaction today between Ted and Nicole. While it didn't end with a reconciliation, we know that there is still love there. And I thought that both actors did a wonderful job of making it a very real interaction. We finally get to see Keith stepping into the role fully of Ted and making it his own. From the wardrobe to the actual presentation, I thought he did a wonderful job. So, and Nicole, of course, we know from when all this stuff hit the fan, she's been doing an excellent job playing that part of the scorned woman. So I I want to applaud both of them. I thought their interaction was very realistic, very believable, very fitting. And hopefully we can see them lovey-dovey soon.
I hope so, Ted. I hope that you take on the words of our former Ted and say, when we celebrate our anniversary next year, when we look back on all we've gone through, we're going to celebrate together in love and with this behind us. So, Ted, do everything you need to do to make that come to light.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, final thoughts.
Don't give up, Ted. Hold fast. Ashley, give up. Find somebody else. Carlton's available. Somebody, anybody.
Not somebody, anybody. Somebody, everybody.
Find yourself.
Scream.
Find somebody else. But that's it for you. I don't know what I'm gonna say about Ashley. I think she did a good job too about being a really wussy person and a very wishy-washy person. She did a good job of acting that way.
She acted like a crybaby. She was a great crybaby.
Yeah, she did a good job being a crybaby. She did a good job of being, but I need her to move on and let other people go. There's other fish in the sea because apparently you don't want that one. So let him go and go on about his business and find something else to do.
I think she just need to sit by herself for a moment and figure out what it is she wants, because she doesn't know, and she's never going to be ready to marry Derek, Andre, anybody else, because Ashley does not know who she is and what she wants.
Exactly.
So she need to spend that time by herself. But my final thoughts are these. This is my final thought. Nope, that's not my final. This is.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Let me try it again. I don't know why it's coming up blue for some reason. There we go.
Blue.
Now, it was showing blue on my side. This is my final thought. Smitty, I need to take a good long look at this obituary and order of service. I don't want this to be you. James had a family. He had people who loved him. He had a man, but he got too close to his man's business. And you are going to be back in the same situation because all of your digging is going to lead you right back to your front door. And I don't know how you're going to take that. I don't know how your heart, especially when you have begged him to tell you the truth.
More than once.
More than once. You have said, I am your husband. You need to tell me the truth of what's going on with you. I deserve to know, and tell me right now. And you have been repeatedly lied to. And so I need you to let that investigative reporter instinct in you go, Smitty. And I just don't want you to end up like James. So I need you to go. If you haven't seen it, I need y'all to Netflix and chill this weekend.
Binge watch it, Smitty. You need to watch it. You need to see
Hulu, it. And you need to see what could happen if you keep barking.
It wasn't pretty. It was sad and heartbreaking.
Yes, it was.
Poor baby lost her mama.
Her mama. You have Samantha and Tyrell you need to think about. And you're wrong for sharing that information with Tyrell, even though I know that's your son. He don't need to know everything.
Especially now that he gonna know it about his daddy.
It's gonna lead back to his daddy, because Tyrell is gonna start digging too, because he's just that type of brain. He plays chess. He is gonna start digging with you and helping you find stuff. And whatever software you use to dig into that man's account, don't do that no more, because he know you in there. You did not get away with it. He said somebody was fishing in my account but did not take any money. Smitty, you're doing too much, babe. And I do not want to see you end up like James. I really don't. Because I like you.
On your way.
I like you. You are in DC. You can't hide behind those gates. They all know your name. And whoever set you up to do that piece, I think that's a setup too. Whoever assigned you to that particular story. I think they set you up. But Smitty, I need you to just go on vacation. Schools should be out now. They're getting ready to finish up for the summer. Take the kids and Martin and y'all go. Vernon told Martin to stay out of this. Let him handle it.
Yeah.
Y'all need to take a family vacation to Disney World or to Italy or just. Well, y'all don't have no problem getting back in the country. Y'all American citizens, so y'all can go out the country and not worry about not being able to get back in. So yeah, go to Italy, go to France, go somewhere for the summer, and let this whole thing blow over. Because I do not want to have to write your obituary. And that's it.
Yep.
That's it. So listen, thank y'all for tuning in with us tonight. Thank y'all for supporting our show. Please, gatekeepers, share tonight's podcast to your pages and to other social media and invite people to come in and watch the show. Let's get our viewership up. Let's get our membership up. Thank y'all for tuning in and commenting, engaging with us tonight. It makes it so much easier and more exciting when you guys come and comment with us. So thank you so much. Ooh. Remember to tune in next week. Keisha will put an official post up in the group with Slick the King and his announcement of coming. And you guys share that with as many people and so that they can come. And that's it. Reminders. Mm-hmm. Don't click on any links that Angela, Keisha, or myself have not put up. Keep tagging us in the bots and scammers and flagging the accounts that you see as spam. And
that one, Marvella, I got it.
Make sure that y'all go and attend the events happening at Fairmont Crest this week. There's the Gamblers Anonymous is happening. The Cougars Are Us is happening. The White Pants Party is happening.
Speed dating
is happening. The B613 Survivor is happening. Y'all
the Camper Workshop.
The Camper Workshop by Haley. Y'all go ahead and learn how to make them a fake.
You got that real estate and investment thing with Joey and Vanessa
and Joey. Y'all got that to go. The Gamblers Anonymous meeting is happening down there with Joey and Vanessa
Tuesday.
Yep. The church band is fixed, y'all. So if y'all need a ride, the band can come and get y'all. Y'all just say y'all need a ride.
Pick up the homeless and take them for pedicures next week.
Yes. So that's that. Thank you, ladies, for a wonderful week. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. And we will say what?
Happy Juneteenth weekend.
Happy Juneteenth weekend. I hope y'all celebrate it greatly. And we will see y'all next
week.
Friday. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for coming out. God bless you and good night.
Good night. Oh, sorry.